This is a question which I get asked a lot by college students, especially. How did you start, and how did you get the idea, and what was the journey? And what I wish to share today with a lot of you here and people who will be listening in later is my experience of the last 22 years in building Jamboking, and the mistakes which I made, and I have tried to distill it over here, hoping that you will learn from it and avoid those mistakes and benefit from it. So there is this topic that we have is focusing, and I think this is the single biggest component that uh, any budding entrepreneur needs to really understand when they want to create a business which is going to be sizable, scalable, and really become large. Because I think we in India are at this amazing point where we can truly create big dollar organizations, which not only get created in India but also go all over the world. Our time has come, and what are the some of the ingredients that we are going to require as we move on this journey. So, one idea, one dream. Have to make that one idea your life, dream of it, think of it, and live that idea. Let the brain, the body, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea and leave every other idea alone. Now, this is a quote by Swami Vivekananda, and how a quote translates into real life, right? That is what money experiment in building your working has. So when I really actually was a student, looking at how people building brands and building companies, I want to understand, especially during my MBA day, what does it take to really build a brand? And that is when my quest began. And I was looking at, you know, a billet or a brand. Do they have secret recipe? Is there something that these people know, which I can learn and kind of emulate and become like? So brands like McDonald's, Starbucks, Domino's Pizza, and Subway. These are the large brands, the billion-dollar organizations, multi-billion-dollar organizations in the food space. So they were my inspiration. And there is it is a laser sharp focus. All of these brands that you would see, they stand for a particular product, which they super specialize in. They are best in the world at. And what I was starting off with Jamboking, what I was seeing is in India, all the brands which are scaling up or are large, they're trying to do everything under the sun. They're trying to, cater to every, the father, the mother, the child, uh, the teenager kids, and have a very diverse menu. While my question was, how come we all go to McDonald's? How come we all go to Starbucks? How come we go to Domino's? We know exactly what we are going to eat over there. And everybody orders that dish because they know that if they have come to a Domino's, they have come there to have a pizza. And why is it that Indian brands are shying away from this? So, our stages in a brand's journey. This actually has been taught to me by my business coach. Her name is Minu Marielle, and we were trying to decipher that how does the brand actually travel the journey when it starts and then when it is as it moves forward. Are there different things that the brand needs to do? And we were able to break it down into three stages. The first stage is called the stage of formation. As in, this helped me really understand where I was in the journey, and I'm sure that will help a lot of you who are really building out businesses to understand that how you need to change the DNA in which you operate as you get out with this journey. So the first stage is the formulation stage, and I'm putting one store over here. For a business, you can take it as 1 crore in revenue. So any business that starts, I think in today's time, getting to about a crore, everyone is able to do it. And that is where you really, what you have is the proof of concept that there's a business, a viable product, which people are buying because you have got either your first successful store or you have reached that 1 crore in revenue. So Post, this is this what is called as a stage of experimentation, right? Because and this is the journey from store number 1 to store number 10. You're learning a lot of things. You are so we in Jammu King, we were trying out different things day in, day out. Actually, because there was nothing to lose, right? There was one store, and I said, what can go wrong? Let's really go out and experiment and understand what is it that people are really liking. There were no tips. All the functions which are typically required uh, to be there to run a business, that is marketing, supply chain, training and audits, finance, projects, and the IT. In fact, these are terms which I have put down now. When we were starting the business, I did not even know that there are going to be 6 components. All we knew was that we have to get the product out and we have to sell it. We have to get pricing right. We have to make money on it, and we have to hope and pray the customers are liking it, and they keep coming back to us for more and more. Uh, and then you move on to store number 2. So everything was fun. It was very exciting because the business is doing well, and we were kind of enjoying it. We were absolutely bootstrapped. There were no VCs and Ps in those times. I'm talking of 2002, and bootstrapped. So whatever money was getting made was getting plowed back into the business. Now there were pitfalls over here, as in between. I'm going to put this between the first and the 10th store. So there were financial constraints, right? We wanted to move faster because everyone around us seemed to be moving very fast, and we were getting crazy funding, which was happening. And in Jumbo King, we at that time was struggling because we were a small company, right? We had 1 store, 2 store, 3 stores, and it was not something which would have got funded, right? Because we wanted to continuously increase sales, increase revenue, increase profitability. And in the food business, the biggest problem that it is very easy to add products. You have a kitchen, you have got all the ingredients, and it is very easy to say, hey, we are doing burgers, add that cook vada pav, and we are going to add pizza, and our sales should double up. But that is when reading all those books about how brands like McDonald's, etc., had got made, we realized that they stuck to one thing. We were also looking at how to raise money at that time, and you have most of the funds, the VC funds, etc., saying, "Hey, you need to do more. You have a great thing going. Provided you add more products, increase your sales, and you'll get better valuations." Right. So all these kind of thoughts were coming at me, and I had to just say that no, let us. It's an experiment that we are doing. We are going to remain focused on our product, and let's see what happens. So this is when we reached stage 2. So I remember our first newspaper article had come when Jammu King had crossed the 1 crore revenue, which was on the second store thereabout. And what happens is now, as a business, you have got your first article, your friends are talking about you, your family's talking about you, and you start feeling that there is something that you have arrived in life, right? And that is where the a lot of the pressure starts building from not having anything to lose to now having something to lose. So anyway, this stage 2 is the stage of concentration, which my business coach was telling me about, and I thought that we may not face it, but this is actually the toughest part of growing any business. And this is between store number 10 to store number 100. You can also look at it if you're not in the QSR business as revenue from 10 crores to about 100 crores. Over here, every 10 units of energy actually gives you just 1 unit of output. Right? I have been through it, and it's very difficult, excruciatingly painful, because you have galloped from store number 1 to 10, and then suddenly that same machinery seems to be chugging along very, very slowly. Our team, it was all mid management. We were making some money, but we were not making enough money to be able to get in the CXO kind of people into the team. So from doing everything on my own, I now had some people to work with, but they were all juniors, which means that they would require a lot of hand holding. So the expectation that we have that now there's a team, so I'm just going to delegate it to them, and then they will come back to me with results. That is not how it works, because they were coming back to me with more questions, and it was frustrating because I would feel I would have just finished faster if I had done it myself. Because when I gave it out to someone to do it, he has taken 2 days to come back with his version of what he felt the result was. And I actually felt I wasted 8 hours and made no progress. Our first VC funding happened around this time. And in VC funding, you'll see that people do raise money, right? That you make out of promises that we are going to do this, you're going to become this size, you're going to grow really fast, you're going to 10x our size. And that is what you do to raise your valuations. And then you realize that actually growth is not coming that fast. So this is where the pitfalls come. The urge to expand geographically. You are answerable to your investor, right? Why are we not growing faster? Urge to expand product portfolio, because that seems to be the answer to all problems, which actually, from what I had been reading in the books in Prime, which I bought made outside, was a mistake. Those books said that we had to remain focused. Today, a McDonald's, Starbucks, etc., that you may see is very different what they were doing when they moved from store number 10 to 100. They were super focused. In fact, McDonald's had only 3 burgers in their entire portfolio. So, I was coming with that as a reference point, that we will do things later on, but today in stage 2, what we need to do is to remain focused. And then urge to add or formats. Let us have a sit down format. Let us do air conditioned stores. Everybody else is doing it. And these were all mistakes, because every brand has a certain positioning in the market, a certain perception in the market, and you need to stick to that. So these are all the pitfalls, because I think these are mistakes. I have seen a lot of brands which have come and gone, and they have fallen into one of these pitfalls, either grown very aggressively. In fact, we are, with the opening store number 200 in March, and we are present only in 4 cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. And we have some presence in Pune, and we feel that these 5 cities is a market of about 700 stores per. So, the classic debate, the questions that we get asked is, when are we going national? When are we getting into the top 400 cities in the country? And we say, hey, we have got so much room for growth in these 4 cities. That is what we are going to really work with. You move to the third stage, which is the stage of momentum. What happens over here is, this is, you can say from store number 100 to store number 1,000. This is where 1 unit of energy gives you 10 units of output, right? And the earlier stage, it was 10 units of energy giving 1 unit. Over here, every unit of energy is giving 10 units of output. So the whole scale up that happens, it looks as if, wow, this is so fast. And, they are kind of, getting their, the growth engine is really, really firing. There is senior management in place. Therefore, the decision making becomes much better. It becomes much faster. And the company is able to afford to have better people in place and take responsibility. You have access to PE funding. So capital becomes very, very easy. And, that solves your other big problem of how do you expedite growth. There are still some pitfalls over here. And this unsafe from after the store number 1,000 is shift of focus from branding, from building a business to chasing valuations. Now, this is one pitfall which we at Jumboking are now going to, we have the knowledge of it, and we are going to avoid it. And, hopefully, whoever is listening in will, kind of also take note of is, we have to continue building the business, right? Create value over there, valuations will happen. Because even today, let us move faster, let us become $1 billion company. Why take 10 years? Let's do it in 5 years. You have access to capital, the market is large. India is a huge country. Someone else will do it. You need to move faster. These are the conversations which are going to come, and they keep coming to us all the time. But remaining relaxed, focused, and growing. So we are looking at doubling every 2 to 3 years. We feel that's a good base to grow at. I am a marathoner. And in marathon running, my coach, the only thing that he tells us is that you have to pace yourselves. So I now run, I've scaled down from 42 kilometers to 21 kilometers. However, it's if you go too fast in the first 5 kilometers, then you are going to run out of steam in the last 5 kilometers. You have to pace yourself. Your pace is your pace. Don't worry about the other runners, the other companies, what they are doing. You have to work on what is good for you. And losing the finger on the pulse. A lot of people, they give it out to senior management, young trainers, and they feel that, hey, I have done all the hard work. Now I need to relax. Now I need to do other things. I need to, look at a lot of other businesses and become an investor. And I want to become a mentor for different businesses. And that is where you lose the finger on the pulse, which is not good for your business, because your business really needs you even more now. And also, this is the fun part, right? Because every 1 unit of energy is giving you 10 units of result. And if you keep doing these things right, India's a large market, 10,000 stores, 20,000 stores, going international, all of those options become possible. And I think the entire journey of building the brand when we started was that we want to be able to get to these kind of this kind of skill, because that is what our mentors in terms of brands had been doing, and that is what had inspired us to start this journey in the first place. So I hope this was useful. Time is almost run out, and I have benefited a lot from this structure, from this framework, and I hope that some of you all will use it and you know create amazing businesses built out of it. Thank you so much.